I got a sneeze coming. Oh, that's a weird way to start the stream. Oh, I had a sneeze coming and then it didn't come. Oh, so weird. Okay, so yesterday I started to build a discard deck. Now, I have one where the goal is to discard my own cards. But everybody, not everybody, that's an exaggeration, clearly. Hyperbole, if you will. But I've come across a lot of opponents forcing me to discard. And sometimes it works as a playstyle. It tends to just be annoying at first, and then I can usually get around it because they spend so much of their resources on discard that they don't do enough other things. And finally I thought, well, could I do it better, or is it just a bad strategy anyway? So I thought the best way to find out is to build it. The problem is I'm not interested in the strategy enough yet to overspend my wild cards. So I went with what I have, and so I do think it would be stronger if I were spending on different wild cards. That being said, I've tweaked it quite a bit. The biggest problem I was running into at one point was not getting good land drops, and like my curve wasn't very good. So I've tried to improve on that. I also noticed I needed some way to capture some kind of life gain. I was really struggling in that department, so I went with the Hemophage and also the Nighthawk Scavenger. So I don't know. Actually, it went on a little bit of a run early on. This card is a beast. I might actually need to, not need, but be willing to go ahead and use another wild card for another Turgid. Turgid. Why not? But something needs to be cut. And it's probably going to be the Captive Audience. As much as I like it, I think those tend to get stuck in my hand. And that's still a 65 card deck, so I don't know that I like that. But we might try it. We'll try it. I'm also keeping an eye on the stream today because yesterday's stream, you may have noticed, got cut off abruptly. I cut it off because for some reason I kept getting disconnected. It was like the internet was good though, so it was almost like the internet would just like stop, and then it'd come back strong, like it was running strong, but it was like it would just stop and then come back. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem today. I thought it looked weird, watching my, I don't know what you call the software here. And then I finally just got on Twitch and looked at the stream, and I could tell it didn't look right. Skeletor! Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm not He-Man, but I guess I'll take down Skeletor. See, here we are with 2 land again, and this deck does not like that kind of start. So do I want to mulligan? I almost feel like I have to with this deck. It just doesn't do well with low land. Let's go here. And I actually will go to 3. I can live with 3, I think. I say that. Everything in my hand is 4. I mean, this is 5, but I typically mutate it, so we'll call it 4. Wow. Yeah, so I definitely have a curve issue, and I don't know how to fix it right now. I mean, I could go with more 1-drop stuff, but see, the problem is, and this may just be where the discard strategy just isn't good right now, because I feel like what I'm running into is the cards that capitalize the best on the strategy and actually function well as, just good win cons, good things to, play the deck, they are in the higher curve spots. Like, we need this creature. I feel like we need this enchantment. And this is good redundancy for the enchantment. Like, we need some of that stuff, I feel like. So it is kind of tough to just go without it. Panharmonicon, this could be rough. So our opponent is going to be looking to mill. Oh, I'll bet they're playing Reanimator with that one. I can't think of it. Something Bones? Something Bones. Bones something? Where you sacrifice a creature and go get another one. Oh, and with Nightmare Shepherd, the sacrificed creature won't even stay in the graveyard. Wow. See, there's a lot going on within Panharmonicon already on the field. I'm actually a little scared of what's going to happen there. Yeah, it's kind of strange because I almost don't want to. I almost don't want to kill creatures yet because they're going to come back. The issue I have at the moment is I don't have any direct removal to get rid of the Nightmare Shepherd. My main removal is the Ritual of Soot. So, yikes. Okay, we're gonna have to block the Nightmare Shepherd next turn. Wow. Okay, at least we can kill it when we block it. Okay, so our opponent can't discard a card, so that's a little unfortunate as far as the timing goes, but at least we can block the Nightmare Shepherd. Now, of course, yeah, I'm going to say they're probably going to draw something that's going to hurt us, and we're probably going to be dead anyway. Oh, didn't go Nightmare Shepherd. That's interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Okay, a little more land is nice. Go. Okay. Which one is this? Ghoul Razor. Oh yeah, that's the game. I didn't feel good about that game anyway. Yeah, so we saw pretty much all the problems. Nothing going on in the early game. And then the late game stuff sets things up, but just doesn't capitalize well enough. So I don't know. I may just abandon this before long. I mean, I have to have certain pieces in the right place at the right time, and I don't know. Red or white spells? I don't know. Let's run this back. We get some red here. Well, we finally got good land in my hand. Alright, so we'll go here. But again, nothing in the early game. I really needed to address that. Well, hello. Sorry, I was going to try to pronounce your username. I got nothing. Thanks for joining the chat, though. I appreciate it. All right. Samago Gabriel is playing Boros. Oh, and you're going to make some tokens. Alright, so we finally got something on the field early enough. Now watch, they'll have some kind of lightning strike and take it out. But if I can keep something like this on the field in the early game, I've got a good chance of setting stuff up. Ha! I love it. I am lonely. I appreciate it. I don't know. It's weird. Some days I get folks in the chat and we have a good interactive stream, and then I think yesterday I had an empty chat the entire morning. But I also had really bad internet connection yesterday, and I had to basically get off the chat. I mean, we can't kill the Sky Knight Vanguard. We can kill the little soldier. Let's just go ahead and kill the little soldier. Unless there's something in the wait. Oh, maybe I should have let him go through. Yep. Dadgummit. I thought about that as soon as I clicked the button. I was like, bad choice. And I needed that on the field. That's okay. We got another creature we can put on the field. Well, if you're not a follower, please follow. I do try to stream regularly. And if you are a follower, I apologize for not recognizing the username. It's not like I have a ton to keep up with, so I should probably be able to. Oh my goodness, this is getting out of hand fast. All right, it takes too long to set up. All right, let's go here. Okay, so the upside is if this sticks, we just have to hope it sticks. Then we can start stealing stuff from our opponent, which is really fun. It's just gotta stick. Like, I did not burn any wild cards on this deck. I just threw it together with what I have, with the exception of an extra Tergrid, just because I think she's one of the few cards strong enough in this deck that I would play elsewhere. Super strong. Okay, there could be another shock in hand, so let's block something a little smaller. And hopefully there's not a lightning strike in hand. Okay, good. Alright, let's see. I've got 5 on board. If I go to 6, that doesn't make a big difference, so we'll go tapped and not lose the life for that. Let's go here for added value. Okay, force a discard, which will give us something. Maybe. I guess it has to be a permanent, so it may not be anything. Yeah, let's see. Take action. Oh, Realm Cloak Giant. I'm guessing they didn't know what was going to happen. Or they probably wouldn't have discarded the Realm Cloak Giant. Oh. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to get rid of that. I almost went and put Feed the Swarm. Oh, that's interesting. Why leave? Why leave Turgid on the field there? Okay, let's. Oh, I can't. Duh, it's flying. All right, let's block something. Let's go there, I guess. Okay, so I almost put Feed the Swarm in, and I might consider going ahead and doing that for the Banishing Light. Really new to this game, so I don't know most of the cards. Okay, that's cool. I actually don't mind explaining stuff as I go. It's fun. Okay, so I have no removal for enchantments in the deck right now. Feed the Swarm is a black removal that will destroy an enchantment. The downside is that it deals you damage equal to the casting cost of the enchantment. Or creature, it can also kill the creature that way too. So it's not the strongest card to have there, but it works. Oh, very new. I find that really cool, though, that Arena is bringing new players to Magic the Gathering, because in the past, new players always came through playing tabletop first. I mean, that's how I came. That's how most people I know. Like, I don't know if I know anybody who came through Arena first. Although my brother-in-law is pretty close to that. I think I did teach him in paper first, but... Alright, so I'm letting my Planeswalker go because I really do want to keep this on the field, and that was not a good draw. I did not need land there. So I'm going to not attack. I'm going to wait and block, but... Okay, this is going to produce another 1/1. Oh, and it has haste? Okay. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +2 and gains haste. Oh, so that's too much. I can't block enough, so I'm just not going to block. I'm dead on board. So that's unfortunate. And I actually have a board sweeper that would have taken out the entire board. It's called Ritual of Soot. I just couldn't draw it. Not enough. This deck is just not, like, it doesn't draw the cards it needs. It's just too inefficient right now. Which, in some ways, does kind of, I guess it's maybe a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, because I've been complaining about how bad discard decks are when I play against them. So I guess building one, I mean, I figured, I should try to build it, but... Alright, so might as well play something different. The quest for the day, let me go back to it real quick. Should be there it is, red or white. I do have red and white, and I even have a mono white somewhere that I haven't messed with in a while. The downside to this deck is it's a warrior equipment deck, and it likes to either win fast or not at all, so sometimes it gets lost. Let me look at this real quick. So, gaining life as a strategy can be really fun, especially with Aetherflux Reservoir, which I do have in the deck. I wanted to make sure I had it here. Interesting. Alright, let's go with this. So, I started playing... I guess it would have been around 97-ish. Tempest Block was the first new set that I got to play, and I think it was late 90s. But then I took a hiatus. I kind of quit playing for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, give or take. And then I would play a little bit occasionally, like so Xbox had a version for a little while. I think this was like 2015 or so, So I started seeing things like that coming out, so I started playing a little bit more then. And then just 2 or 3 years ago, I started buying paper cards and getting back into tabletop. And then almost as soon as Arena opened their beta, I downloaded it and I've been playing Arena ever since. Um, so I don't know, it's probably at least 2 years on Arena now. Okay, so if these stick, we're going to gain some life pretty quick. Yeah, I really hate that I got out for so long, though, for a few reasons. One, I had some pretty good stuff way back when, but also, I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of one of those 7 doors. That's too much. Um, I don't know. I just enjoy the game so much. I'm just a little disappointed in myself for getting out for so long, um, because I keep seeing all these cards from way back when that are so cool that I never played with during the time that they were popular. So that's kind of disappointing. Red and green play really fast. So they play really fast together. Green likes to ramp fast but doesn't necessarily win early. Red likes to win early because it deals a lot of damage really fast. Um, Put them together, and yes, they can be a pretty fast, nasty combo. That color combination is called Gruul, and that's from the Guilds of Ravnica. So the original Ravnica set came out when I wasn't playing, but I was playing a few years ago when, I guess it's maybe 2 years ago now, when not Return to Ravnica, because that happened before, but then we had the third trip to Ravnica, which was the sets were Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance. Well, that was our most recent sets from the plane of Ravnica, and they had all the guilds where you get the two color combinations, and so red and green is the Gruul combination. And why not play some? Because I have. So this one I built fairly recently. It's built around Trample, mainly because there is a card that utilizes it as a mechanic. So if you deal damage, trample damage, then it'll create another creature based on that amount of damage. So we'll take a look at it. We'll read the card when it comes up. There's a saying, if you haven't heard it yet, reading the card explains the card. So often we get tripped up by the rules, and sometimes we just have to slow down and read. Let's see. So this particular deck isn't as fast as a lot of, especially the more current Gruul decks. I don't know if I can keep this hand. Okay, so this is the card I want. So this one, whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deal damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player. So that's what the deck is built around. I actually am gonna go ahead and keep this because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that I can play based on the land in my hand. Typically 2 land without mana dorks is not a lot. By mana dorks, I mean cards that will creatures that will also create mana, and green typically has those. Typically elves do that. I don't have any mana dorks, so I'm a little hesitant about the hand, but I'm going to go ahead and take it anyway. Okay. Alright, we'll go here first. So these will actually grow when I cast a creature that's bigger than they are. I mean, that's the short verbiage of it. So Stonecoil Serpent next turn will increase their strength, and the amount of power I have on the field will make Galta cost less, so that'll be nice. But if I don't draw land soon, we're going to be in a pickle. Because I took a risk keeping this hand. I probably should have went with the mulligan, but I would say on average I probably do not mulligan as much as I should. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just block instead of swinging it at the moment. And be interesting to see what they play. So they've got, I mean, they're on curve, or not, they're getting their land drops, and I am not. Oh, see, that was not good. Not good at all. So one, I can't afford to cast another one of those, and two, they're legendary, which means you can't have more than one on the field anyway. Alright, we're just going to pass the turn. This is not doing us any good. Okay. So they've got to have something up their sleeve here. So we have to decide, are we willing to lose something or take the damage? And it could be a lot of damage depending on what's in their hand. My guess is some kind of giant growth type. Let's just take it. Okay, that's interesting. So whatever they had, they're holding on to. Oh. Yeah, this game is over. So they're going to start creating 4/4 white angel creature tokens, and I still haven't drawn anything to deal with any of that stuff. This is a bad draw. 2 land is not getting me anywhere. I guess I'm going to swing in, take advantage of the empty board. And oh, this is bad. Very bad. Very, very bad indeed. Okay. The only question is now, how many angels or tokens are they going to create this turn? So there's one right there. So this card, basically, whenever they create a token, it's going to create, instead of whatever that token would be, it's going to create a 4/4 angel. And so tokens in general are not hard to create. And now they're going to be really big and in the way. And if I try to attack, they can create another angel token, which means it's probably not a good idea to attack here. So normally, yes, Gruul would be fast, but I got a lousy draw. Even though I had these early plays, I should not have stuck with it. So I hit Diamond a couple days ago, but I've been piddling around testing some decks and playing some older decks. So I've been sitting in Diamond 4. I think I did get to Diamond 3, but kind of fell back down. Like I said, I'm just kind of testing some stuff right now. I was actually thinking about grabbing my Angels deck this morning and see if I can make a push. I went through Platinum with Angels and Giants, actually. It was a pretty good run. Okay, if I draw one more land, we get a little bit closer. Luckily, our opponent doesn't have cards in hand right now. So they're actually not moving very fast, even though they've got the strength. They're outpowering me at the moment. I don't know. So last season, I didn't make it out of Platinum. It was an awful season. But the season before, we played most of the end of the season in Mythic. So that was really nice. Alright, so the downside is I have to actually pay 1 to give this reach, so it won't do us any good. We're going to bow out. I can block that one here, but I'm not going to make up the difference. in enough time. That was just a horrible... Actually, let's play this one more time. Because that was such a horrible draw. And then I might actually try to find something that'll maybe get us some rank. The funny thing is, like, you've got to be... Well, unless you're playing like a true meta deck, which I do not do if I can help it. I don't know. I don't want to necessarily get into the net deck conversation. I don't feel like it's a issue per se, but I'm not a big fan. I do want to be as creative as I can, so I do try to create my own stuff as much as possible, but I am not against like grabbing something off the internet. I totally do it. My thing is, even though I grab stuff off of the internet, I don't like going with the meta per se. Okay, this is so much better. I've got 2 mana dorks and 3 land. Now, I need more stuff that's going to affect the board, but that's okay too. So this will go faster. We'll get to see a little bit of the speed. Oh, what's going on? Looks like my internet kind of slowed down there for a second. Okay, it's back. So let's go here. We'll go haste. Okay, so now we're swinging already on turn 2. We were definitely not doing this last game. And this deck actually got me some wins. And helped me get to Mythic not last season, but the one before. So let's go ahead and just throw this down for 4. Okay, so now pretty soon we'll have the Great Henge. The Great Henge is really good because it gives us card draw. Oh yeah, see, the opponent saw how fast we were moving there. Yeah, so see, Diamond tier 4. So yeah, if I would have mulliganed that first hand on that first game with this deck, I might have been better off. I do sometimes make bad choices with mulligans, and I know it. I'm trying to practice like going for the mulligan more often, but my gut, and everybody's different, but my gut is to keep a 7 card hand as much as possible. And so I will mulligan less often than I should. Psychomantin. Alright. Psychomantin. Let's see what you got. Okay, so we got 3 land. Nice. We got a mana dork early. Rhythm of the Wild is good. I don't know if it'll be great here, but Stone Cold. So this, I think this is another keeper. We'll have Rhythm of the Wild down on turn 2. Which means turn 3 we can play a pretty decent Stonecoil Serpent. Okay, so we're either up against mono white or probably an Orzhov build. Okay, it's going to be Orzhov. It's going to be a super simple build. All they're trying to do is get a Johnny's Pridemate really big. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot to deal with that until we get something big on the field. So we're either going to have to block it or let it go through and go around it. A second one. Yikes. So this is where I would like to have some removal, and I don't have any. So we're just going to have to do what we can. And let's start with haste. Okay, so even though we might lose this, it's going to act essentially as removal if we do. And at the moment, since I don't have any removal in my hand, we're going to have to let that be good. So we'll let that be removal. Ooh, that hurts. Not too bad because I have another one, but I'd rather not have to spend the resources on that one. Yeah, we're going to lose this. I can see it now. I just don't have the pieces I need. I mean, I can throw down another blocker, but so I can block if I don't lose this, but unfortunately at the moment all we're doing is trading blocks or trading creatures. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take this one out, get rid of something, and keep that on the board. Okay, this is good because now I can create a blocker by dealing damage. So as long as they can't remove this, I now have a blocker. And I can create something big. I might find a way back into this game. I don't know. One, two. Okay, I don't have enough green. If I pull a green land, I can cast these in the same turn, which means I can give this haste so it can attack on the turn that it comes in. That will come in handy. Okay. So that puts it at 4. Oh, it's going to be tapped. So I got green land, but it's going to be tapped. That stinks. Yeah, I'll keep that, I suppose. I guess we'll go ahead and just cast it then. Oh, I should have attacked first. That's alright. We're still okay because I can still swing with this one. Let's go there. So the good thing is, with these not having trample, as long as I have blockers, it doesn't matter how big they get. Okay. Now I could really use the Great Henge about now so that I could get card draw as well, but let's go with the counter. So this is guaranteed to create another creature. I don't know. I don't really think we're going to make it back in, but we could. We could. Oh, so that's going to hurt. That's flying. I don't have any way of dealing with flying right now. Oh, and they didn't attack. That was smart. I think that's the ball game. If I would have drawn a lava coil to take that out, I would have been fine. but without it, yep, we're going to lose in the air. Going to lose in the air. I don't have any way to deal with that. Yeah. All right, well. So the other thing that this deck probably could use is there's a card called Storm's Wrath that deals 4 damage to everything. And that could have actually taken out some of this stuff before it got too big. Otherwise, green does not do good with removal. It can take out creatures with flying pretty well, and it can take out enchantments and artifacts pretty well. Otherwise, green does not do good with removal. Red can, especially with smaller creatures, but the bigger they get, the harder it is for red to take them out. Which is why that color combination wants to win fast, because once those things get really big, this color combination can't deal with them as easily. Black can deal with black and white both, because white can exile and black just destroys. They can deal with big creatures pretty easily. Green and red, not so much. Alright, we're definitely going to mulligan this. 2 land is just not going to work. Oh my goodness. This is 3, but 2 of them are going to come in tapped. Okay, I'm going to keep it because they will scry, which will help. And I've got some playable stuff. And let's drop that, even though I don't know, do I want to drop that? Actually, I think I'd rather do the Rhythm of the Wild. Because Gem Razor, the mutate ability acts as removal for enchantments and artifacts, and that might be necessary. Okay, so we'll scry here. There's another Rhythm of the Wild, but I don't think that's going to be as handy this game. Wow. I don't think we're going to hit the speed that we need here. This is basically the same deck we just played against. I don't know what's going on with the shuffler or algorithms or whatever this morning, but basically the same thing. Alright, let's get this out of the way. And we saw we had a difficult time dealing with this last game. And this is essentially the same thing. Although this one looks like it's going to try to win more on the back of the veto combo. Okay, scry is... so it depends on how many it says. So it'll say, like this says scry 1. So I'm going to look at the top card of my library, and I can either put that card back or I can put it on the bottom. Sometimes it'll be scry 2 or scry 3. 1 is the most common, but if it's scry 2, you simply look at the top 2, and you can put either 1 back or both, and you can change the order of them as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let that die. Yeah, see, they're going to try and pull off the combo is their goal here. I don't know. I can play that next turn. I guess I'll keep that. That'll give me something on the board. Let's get rid of that. So ultimately, we need to watch out for cards like Veto, which we haven't seen yet. But Veto basically does the same thing as the Priest. The only difference is instead of your opponent loses 1 life, it's your opponent loses that much life. And so that can get out of hand. And then there's another card that's an enchantment that works as a combo piece. And it goes infinite. And you just infinitely, it goes back and forth Your opponent gains life, you lose life. Your opponent gains life, you lose life. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. So this doesn't have haste yet. That will give haste. If I mutate this, it will... Let's go here. We'll be able to cast it next turn. So the good thing is we're not going to lose 9 life this turn. So we're still in it, but we've got to start thinking about how to clear this board state. Oh, shoot, and that doesn't have reach either. Oh, but will it trigger here? Okay, I got to think about this now. It does trigger there. Okay, so there's a lot of words on the raised boar, but basically when it attacks, you can put another red creature on the battlefield tapped and attacking, and it's going to go back into my hand at the end of the turn. But this is going to trigger, creating that. And then let's actually cast the mutate here. Doesn't really matter which one we mutate to, except we don't want to do that one. I guess we'll go here, because we're going to go under, so it won't matter. And then, because it targets an artifact or enchantment, and Daxos is an enchantment creature, which is a little odd. We don't see that in very many sets. Theros Beyond Death gave us this, and the original Theros gave us this, but not many sets have that. But it actually works in our favor. We can get rid of that. And see, the fact that this goes back in our hand is amazing, because now we do it all over again next turn, and this is protected from any kind of removal now. So as long as this doesn't get removed, we're in the money. So as far as this deck is concerned, it would probably be beneficial for me to use wild cards on another raised boar, but I only have so many wild cards until I get sponsored by Wizards and they give me unlimited wild cards, which who knows if that'll ever happen. Alright, so we're basically just going to do it all over again. And this is the ball game. There's nothing our opponent can do about that. So this particular Gruul deck, as we just saw, it can go big, but it doesn't go as fast as, again, most players want this color combination to work way faster than that. But this one goes big, it just doesn't go as fast. I like it though. I love trying to find that mechanic or that card to build off of. And so I built this one around Trample, and I really enjoy the way it works. But I don't know that it's going to climb the ladder very well here. I've had better luck with Angels and Giants, so I might try a little bit of that this morning. Like I said, I've had better luck climbing with those. But I also don't mind when I'm not climbing the ladder. Like I don't know. I do a lot of play testing, and so I test a lot of decks on the ladder, which a lot of people don't do, because you can lose rank if you're not playing with a consistent deck. But I'm okay with that. I'm not as competitive as I used to be. So we could go here but it would be really hard to make this work. So this is going to be a mulligan. Okay, so again, only 2 land, but it is more playable. So we can cast this now, we can cast that, we can even cast that. We can pay the 2 for Foretell for the Doomscar. The only thing we can't cast in this hand is Lyra, so we'll just move it out. And so even though we still we're not excited about only having 2 land, we at least have playable cards. And even this we can Foretell. Foretell is a very new mechanic. We just got it in Kaldheim. And I think it may be a mechanic that sticks around a while. I think we could see it in later sets because it's that good. It is interesting, the mechanics that come back and the ones that don't. Because almost in every new set we see new mechanics, and some come back, some don't. And then some are in every set. Death Touch, Trample, Flying, what else? Lifelink. I mean, there's some that never go away. Okay, it's early, but I do not want that on the battlefield. Okay, so Foretell, again, a new mechanic. What you're going to do is you've got to pay 2 to exile the card. But when you do that, you get to use its alternate casting cost, which is the Foretell cost. So this one costs 2 to Foretell to cast. Okay, here's a good example. So this card costs 5 to cast. But if you use Foretell, you exile it for 2, and then later you can cast it for just 3. So it's lowering the casting cost, but there's a price because you have to wait on it. Okay, we'll go Bishop of Wings because this will give me life gain when this comes out. So I'll keep this kind of in the wings for now. Now if I can draw another land, I'm going to try to get Resplendent Angel out. Oh yeah, they saw that coming. Interesting. Okay, since I'm behind and they're going to get, I'm going to go ahead and Foretell this because I might need this sooner than later. I'm starting to see some stuff coming out and I'm way behind on land. Okay. There we go. No, I'm not going to cast that yet because I think I am going to need. Okay, so if we're lucky, they'll go ahead and cast their Murderous Rider, get that on the battlefield, and so we can get rid of everything next turn. Okay, they're going to cultivate. Alright, let's see if they'll cast. They've got plenty of land. Yeah, we got to take damage. The good thing is I've got opportunity to gain life in this deck. Oh, they didn't cast a Murderous Rider. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I think I am going to go ahead and clear the board for now, though. Even though I finally have enough mana, I can start casting things. This will at least slow things down a little bit. Okay. All right, now then, ooh. Okay, this is a really cool, fun card, but I'm not sure what they're setting up with it. Because that's not a card that is helpful to blink. Okay, that's odd. Alright, So let's go here and here. Okay. So this one's going to grow every time we cast an angel. It can also block. I'm not worried about their gaining life at the moment. I can deal with that later. I'm not worried about that. That's not doing anything. Okay, here we go. So now Resplendent Angel. Surely they're not sitting on a counter spell. Okay. We'll help there, and when we activate this, we'll gain 5 life because we have an angel on the battlefield. And at the end of the turn, that'll give us another angel. I guess we'll hold off to block. Magic Mirror. So they're going to get card draw now. Let's go white, I guess. Okay. We get in for what we can. Okay, so we only have to deal 4 more damage, which is nice, but my guess is we're going to see a board wipe soon. Yep. Okay, we saw that coming. Now I don't see any more life gain. But having that card draw, that's a little scary because that means they're going to get something going. Let's go ahead and draw some cards ourselves. Or a card, I guess. Okay. So now they've got to remove that. Okay, that's not going to do it. Ooh, that has reach. That's actually really good now. We got to find a way around that. Okay, why is that not targeting anything? Oh, up to 1, so they're just choosing not to. Got it. Okay, I think this is the game, because we can target that now. And they didn't leave enough mana open to be able to tap it. So that should be the game. I feel like they had bigger plans that they couldn't get to. Especially with Thassa. Thassa does a lot of stuff. I just don't think they ever got to what they were trying to get to. That deck looked like it takes a lot to set up. Okay, so ooh, we're up to 10,000 gold. So tomorrow we'll do a draft. Tomorrow morning I'll do a draft. Morning for me, I don't know. I get used to saying that even though not everybody's in the same time zone or part of the world. I think, so what do we got? I want to finish this quest. I've got probably another 15 minutes or so to stream before I need to bolt. Let's see. I think I'll play some more of this. I really like this deck. I enjoy this one. I probably get the most enjoyment out of this game by its variety and the immense amount of options and cards that you can play. So, I'm in the States. I'm in the U.S. I am in the Midwest part of the States. This is not a keeper. So I can cast only 2 cards, and I've got that. Where are you at? Let's see. Malaysia? Really? That's awesome. So, this is going to sound bad, I know. But, when you said Malaysia, I've been watching Uncle Roger on YouTube, and that's where my head goes straight to. Malaysia is to Uncle Roger. He's pretty hilarious if you haven't seen him. Although he could be polarizing. I guess some people might think he's too much of a caricature. Maybe it's offensive. Obviously he's addressed that that's not his goal, though. Just comedy. All right. What do we got here? Everything? I'll go ahead and keep that. Red, white, green. White, black, green. So the only thing we haven't seen is blue. You know Uncle Roger as in you know of his videos, or you know him personally? I mean, either way is pretty cool, but... Okay, so now this one's starting to work fast, which I know him from it. Yeah, okay. I found his videos maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, and I love it. So what I was going to say, though, this deck is fun because, so the last game we won kind of late in the game. Like, our opponent had so much going on. In this game, it's actually running out kind of fast and getting out. I mean, we're got a pretty good advantage at the moment. So, all right, I could go here again. I think I'd rather go here. So this will give us an angel, which pumps this one up. And then also on the next turn, we get another counter on the saga. And so we move down to the next thing, and that's actually a pretty good mechanic there. Alright, I think... do I want it? No. Let's just go straight for the face. I considered whether we should take out the Planeswalker. Typically, I do at least consider taking out a Planeswalker like that if I feel like they can affect the game long term. But I really feel like it might be beneficial to just go at our opponent. Although, if they clean the board, then we might regret not taking out the Planeswalker. And in Historic right now, so we're playing in Historic obviously, but in Historic, much more than Standard, although there are board wipes in Standard, but there's so many board wipes in Historic that it's almost a given that your opponent can have one, and maybe likely will have one. Let's go white here. Okay, so now let me think. We have 2 creatures in our way, and we need to deal 4 damage. So if I can just take one of those out, we're in good. I think that's game over. Yeah, that was game over. So we're climbing a little bit now. Doing a little climbing. Coffee's kicking in. Let's see what we got. Titanoth Rex. Fun card. Not a great card, but fun card. We need 6 more red or white spells. We're getting some white stuff here, so we should hit that. We should hit that pretty soon. And again, we got 10,000, so we'll do a draft tomorrow. So I read something. I read an article yesterday about draft for Kaldheim, and it was from. Well, I was going to say it's a Facebook page that I'm following, but I think they actually now have a website, MTG Rocks. And it was really interesting because my best drafts in Kaldheim so far have been green and black, and also Jund, green, black, and red. And the author of the article was saying that black is maybe the worst color to draft in Kaldheim, and I've had good success with it, so I thought that was interesting. And then also that white is pretty strong in Kaldheim, which is pretty different because usually white is one of the least strong colors in a set. White usually does really good at small creatures that get out fast. So it's actually similar to red in that way. The difference is red has so much other stuff that it does early game as well. And then white's usually pretty good at exiling stuff. But then, other than that, white usually has a lot of just junk, really. Stuff that costs a lot of mana that doesn't do enough. But I think because that's been the case for so long, Wizards of the Coast has been addressing it, and so it looks like they've actually done a pretty good job this go around. Of course, mono red aggro is always a thing, and looks like it's going to be pretty strong in draft. But I have found success lately not trying to push too hard into any color direction until after I get into the draft and start drafting. That seems to have gone pretty well. Let's go ahead and draw a card here. Okay, not bad. So I think this is one of the things I like about this iteration of Angels since Kaldheim has come out, at least in Historic, is we've got so many early game Angels that we didn't have before. Buzz! How bad do you think you're going to get snow? Oh my, so they're talking, I've heard anything from like 1 to 2 inches all the way up to 10 inches. It's still so early that it's hard to know, but what's today? Today's Thursday, so we're not supposed to get much snow. If anything, I mean, maybe a flurry today or tomorrow. And then Saturday night, maybe. But what they're saying is Sunday night into Monday, we're expecting a lot. But they just don't know how to predict it yet. So they're talking about 10 to 20 on your part of the state. And you're like... I think you're like 4 hours from me, drive time. Yeah, I saw a report that said we could get 10 to 15 inches. I don't know if I've ever seen 10 inches of snow. Let's go here. So we'll use Foretell to put this back. And actually, I've got enough life right now. I'm going to stay on the offensive. Although that didn't work out too good. Okay, well, let's get rid of the smaller of the two there. I really hate that casualties of war. Like, destroying a land is so detrimental. And now our opponent's got card draw, which gives them advantage. They've got land advantage. I have a lot of advantage right now. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so again, I want to keep the pressure on. Even though they have the advantage, I have such a good life total, and I know at some point I even have the ability to gain life. I feel like staying on the offensive is the best way to go. Alright, so we'll go here, and this will let us draw. Not draw, but let us create an angel. Which will also let us, on the second turn that this is out, destroy. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. So we might be forced to block soon. I don't know. Well, but see, now they've got life gain, so it makes no sense to attack at this point. Yeah, you don't get snow in Malaysia. That's interesting. So, are you on a smaller island, or I guess I don't know a lot about the geography in Malaysia. Oh, so much damage. Okay. Let's get rid of these two. Okay, so those go to the bottom of their owner's library. So that's nice. Oh, that hurts. Gosh, our opponent just has so much land and cards in hand, but now they don't have a whole lot else. Oh, they just picked up. Okay. Okay, so we can attack. And then destroy target creature. Why can't I? What happened? Why did it lose that? Oh, it's got to be less than. So I need to get rid of that. Oh, that's kind of lame. Alright, I guess we'll get rid of it this way. It's not a big country. Yeah, that's what I think is so interesting about countries like the U.S. We're such a big country that we have so many different climates. There's parts of our country that get snow. There's parts of our country that almost never get snow. It's so different. Okay, so we've got our opponent down to 2. I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. We just have to hope they don't have any way of destroying both of our flyers. And we're in good shape. Okay, they're going to draw a card, so they're looking for something. And they didn't find it. Nice. Flying is a pretty good advantage in itself. So we're climbing right now. Not bad. I had to switch away from that discard deck. It's just not a great strategy. I thought I could make it work, but... just couldn't quite make it work. Okay, we got one more. Alright, I might switch up though. I do like variety. That's what, I think I said that earlier, but that's just one thing I really enjoy about this game, is there's so many different things you can play. Okay, was this the Berserker deck I built? I threw this together and I don't think I even played it much. Yes, so this was built around Berserker, mainly because of this enchantment. Whenever a Berserker this attacks this turn, you draw a card and lose a life. I like drawing cards, so I thought that would be really cool. Your dad has been... That's because of scholarships for like 5 years. In the U.S. for 5 years. Oh, so your dad has been in the United States for the last 5 years? In California? So going to college? Or university is what I guess maybe you would say it. We say college a lot of times. I think other countries say university. That's pretty cool. And California, so California is so unique because we're talking about how big the United States is. Yeah, university. Okay, so California is so big that it has different climates of its own. So like Southern California is a completely different climate than Northern California. It's one of the biggest states we have in the country. I have no idea if this deck is even worth playing. I have nothing but creatures and a couple of other spells. It's so wonky. I'll try it out. I'll try it out. It's probably going to be awful. Like really terrible. I think I'm going to work on something else with Tergrid. But maybe instead of focusing on discard, I add in sacrifice as well. And I might even go with a playset. She's such a good card. Okay, let's go here. Got blue out first. Oh, more blue. So we're going to see counter spells for sure. What are we going to do about it? I don't know yet. Okay. So Boast is also a new mechanic, and it triggers when the creature attacks, or as long as it has attacked. So it can trigger later in the turn as well. Okay, we're going to use Foretell, so we'll put this away into exile, and then it'll cost 4 to cast from exile. And then we'll trigger one of these as well. Okay. Well, we got good land going. Okay, let's go ahead and cast that then. Oh, is it going to get countered? It's going to get countered. I bet that's a counter spell right there. Yeah. Yeah, I hate playing against blue. Always have to deal with those counter spells. Okay, let's go here. And we'll move that when we scry. Okay, so if a giant source you control would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals double that damage instead. So I don't have a lot of giants in here because, again, I based the deck on Berserker more than giants, but I do have some, and so that would have been nice to keep, but it's okay. We're still in pretty good shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will not pay the 2. For that, we'll go here. We'll pay the 1 for that. Okay, so got them down to 8. Okay, they're going to probably take that out. Which is interesting because it's almost acting like a decoy at this point. We'll go ahead and pay the 2 life here. And go here. Actually, I won't attack with those. Let's see. I played against my big brother. He loves using the blue deck. Oh yeah, blue is awful. I would not be happy at my big brother if he played blue, but I've got a friend that comes to my house occasionally and plays, and he likes to play blue. It gets frustrating for sure.
Ruining your day is food. Get out of my way already.
Okay, so we'll scry again. Might as well keep that. Go here. Okay, let's go ahead, since they don't have anything to block with, and send 1 there. And activate both of them. So we may just win just by our opponent just not being able to keep up. Which is interesting because it's not exactly the game plan. Oh, Ritual of Soot. Hopefully that doesn't change the entire game on us. But now if they counter this, and I'm not going to be able to draw cards, that may change the whole... Oh, that's not a counter. Nice. Okay, so now let's see if they destroy it this turn. If they don't destroy it this turn, I think I won. Yeah, white's a lot of fun because you get to gain life. Okay, so we basically just traded those off. Could be another counter spell there. I mean, we almost have to cast, even though if we're casting into a counter spell at this point. Okay, we're not. Good. But now they're drawing cards, so they probably drew something they need. Yeah. See, now I think they're going to just have too many cards. I don't have any cards. Yeah, now they're going to get good stuff. And now I'm drawing land. This is going to be over real fast. It's going to be over with real fast. This is actually got to be my last game. I've got to get out of here. I've got my day job. Oh, and I've got meetings today. It's going to be boring. I'm going to be wishing I was playing cards. I've got to get enough followers that I can start getting paid to do this. Speaking of followers, though, I'm thinking about... So, I'm going to do a drawing for sure. I've been planning on doing a drawing for weeks now when I get to 50 followers. And then I also think I might go through and look at my tokens today, and I might send a signed token. Like, it's not gonna be. My signature is worth absolutely zilch right now. Let me be very clear about how honest. like, but it could be something fun, especially as we keep the stream going. Even if it's never worth anything, it still might be fun to have. So I think I may sign some tokens and send them out to all of my followers when I hit 50 as well. So you might spread the word. Help us get there. Okay, I see. I tried to build my mixed deck, but I have no idea which card I should use. Oh, so mixed, you mean by multiple colors? Instead of just going with a monocolor deck. It can be tricky. So obviously one color does help simplify things, but... Okay, this is over. I'm not even going to keep playing. They're drawing cards, got land. Now with this Planeswalker out, it's over. At some point, you just know you've been beat. So, some suggestions that I would have. If you are trying to get used to building in multiple colors, I would first look at the combinations from the Ravnica sets, the Guilds of Ravnica, and Ravnica Allegiance. And they actually put out some pre-constructed decks around that time as well that weren't too bad. They put out, what were those called? They put out some decks that weren't standard. They were they had older cards in them, but they were all based around those guild kits. They were called guild kits. Those are really good to kind of get some ideas. And then I always just go to some websites like MTG Goldfish is a great website for user decks. There's another one. What's it called? Aether. I'm stuck because there's a set called Aether Revolt and there's a card called Aether Flux Reservoir, and I got those in my head. But there's a website that's Aether something. Anyway, there's some good websites out there for help as well. Like I said, MTG Goldfish is one that I really like. I think they do a great job. But okay, so we got through our quest, and it is time for me to get out of here. Tomorrow, we're spending this gold. We're going to do a draft, a Premier Kaldheim draft. So we'll look forward to doing that tomorrow. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And this is about the time I stream on a regular basis. Sometimes on the weekends, I do also jump on more... I don't know, different times of the day, but this is usually when I'm streaming. So, all right, thanks so much. I will